let everything wake up for the morning, stretch, get our first comments in. I know, I'm part of the early gang. So true, bestie. But without audio, I mean, just at first, I always let it stretch for a little bit. Oh, this, I keep that motherfucking thing on me. As a treat today, do you guys want to watch my lizard eat some lettuce? This is typically an audio only friendly stream. Here at the Dadvocate streaming services, I like to keep it to where, like, even though we react to a lot of visual things, I will do my best to verbally describe everything that's going on so that you can typically just enjoy this format as like a podcast almost. But today I do have my lizard, so you might want to take a peek. This is Prince Unicorn. He is technically not mine. He is technically my 8-year-old daughter's. She wanted him for her birthday, and I kind of secretly wanted a bearded dragon too. So yes, it is my daughter's, but I definitely did all of the assembly of the complete. I mean, all right, I paid strong people to help move some things, I will say that. But doing all of the research, learning how to build a bioactive terrarium, learning all the things that can kill a bearded dragon, which is like, the story, if you give a mouse a cookie, and basically the story is like, then the mouse will want a glass of milk, and then he'll want some crayons and a piece of paper so he can color to put something on the fridge with his milk. And it's always like, it'll keep wanting more and more. Like, it's kind of that, but like, if you give a bearded dragon the wrong type of wood, the wrong type of bug, the wrong type of vegetable, the wrong type of sunlight, it will die a horrific, long-standing death. And it's like, oh, so yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful exotic. They call them beginner animals, and I do not know why. They need to stop telling people that. Bearded dragons are not beginner animals. A beautiful exotic creature, but definitely like you'll have to learn how to replicate Australia if you want one. He's like, dude, grandma, I know that you have the leaves. It's gonna be awkward trying to feed him on camera, but hey, buddy, look out of your eye. Do you want this? I wonder if he even will eat while on me. I've never tried this before, but he usually. Dude, I know you want this. He is. I am not in my typical eating environment. Dang. Thought this might be fun. I thought also giving him some greeny greens would be a lot better than bringing a roach and feeding him on camera. I think I'd lose a lot of people pretty quickly that way. Well, all right. We still got like 2 minutes till official showtime, so I think I'll have enough time to run him up there. I would love to keep him here all stream, but the truth is, when he gets really comfortable, he'll poop. So, as I'm sure you can imagine, I would like to avoid that. I see I've got a couple super chats though. Thank you guys so much. Trey Poe says, "Good morning, beautiful people." Hell yeah. Tawodros the third, so good to see you. Thank you for the 5. Good to see you back. Lauren, did you get my latest email? Yeah, I've been keeping up with you, Tawodros. One of the wildest timelines. And if you can believe it, though, still not the craziest of email sagas that I have received. It might make you even feel a little bit better. It's so tempting to just keep him here throughout the whole stream, but I just know. I just know he's gonna end up pooping right on me. Also, I'm pretty sure the last time my daughter fed him, because you have to coat their bugs with calcium dust. Just another fun thing. You have to not only keep roaches to feed them, but you have to sprinkle the roaches every single time you feed them. But I think she got a bunch of calcium dust on his head because he looks like he's just been like rolling around in the coca. You know what I mean? Like he looks like he was just on a yacht with a bunch of millionaires and just like got a face full of the sugar. You know what I'm saying? Samantha, thank you for the two and the unboxing reminder. That's another funny thing. I've got to get out of the way. You know what, Prince? You can join me for this. She'll appreciate this. My daughter will appreciate Prince being a part of this. So, before we get the show started, my 8-year-old daughter is not allowed to watch my streams, but I did tell her I would show this part. She has requested that I do an unboxing of these two mystery gifts that she has given me. Okay, so this is cheers. Everybody say yeehaw for the mystery surprise package. I had to pay $20 each in play money for these. Okay, so these were not cheap. Aw, Prince, you're trying to hide your beautiful face from the world. Oh, sir. This is... Do you guys like my new scarf? Whoa! No way! In my first mystery surprise package from my 8-year-old, I got this homemade bracelet. Wow! So many different colors. Ooh, okay, we're gonna have to put that on right now, girl. Like, swag. Okay. We are now going to be unboxing the second mystery package from my 8-year-old's daughter. Let's go! Let's go! Cheers in the chat! Okay, what have we got this time? Got that drip? That's right. That's right, chat. Dark Mage says slay. Ooh, I love this one for my second mystery package. We have another homemade bracelet. These could also be worn as anklets, though. And like, come on, camera, zoom in on this. Look at these colors. I love it. It's like got sunset colors almost mixed with like nature. Oh, come on, show it, show it. Yeah, we've got some purple, some orange, some yellow, obviously. Actually, these are like all of the colors in my office. This is actually like a very Dadvocate office coded bracelet anklet. Wow, girl. Oh my God. Perfecto. Thank you. Shout out to my 8-year-old daughter. You may not watch any more of this show. Okay. I love you. Bye. With that ends the segment that I'm allowed to show my 8-year-old that she really wanted me to do. She wanted me to do that mystery unboxing for my live. Thank you, Samantha, for reminding me. I am going to briefly return Prince Unicorn to his faux Australia enclosure, but I will be right back with you guys. 1 sec. Okay, thank you for your patience while I returned Prince Unicorn to his chambers. Anyway, good morning. I think I got the usual stuff out of the way as far as, welcome back to the stream. Try to keep it audio only. Today we're just gonna get right into it because I have quite a hella itinerary for you guys today. On this channel we typically talk about relationships, dating, breakups, marriage, divorce, co-parenting, parenting, all kinds of buffoonery and bungholery around stuff we usually fight about, quite honestly. When we just try to have a laugh as we react to it all, because, a lot of times, what else can you do? One of our big mottos on this channel is, we can't save these hoes, but we can learn from these hoes. Okay, so let's just jump right into the latest messy situations of the week. Starting with, of course, we have to talk about it, the infamous Coldplay concert. Some of you may have seen, I've already made a reel about the situation where a couple was caught appearing to be caught in an affair at a Coldplay concert. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's a very quick clip. We can watch it. I shall refresh you. Okay, this is the clip.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Okay. And so, of course, the quick synopsis on that is the internet did its thing, found out where they worked, who they were, who their spouses were, all of that information super, super quickly. Now, there have been a few updates since then. First things first, there is a statement circulating claiming to be from the gentleman involved in the situation that seems to put out all of this stuff about how he's working to repair his life, and then it ends with a Coldplay lyric. That is not a true statement. That is a hoax that apparently somewhere on Astronomer they have already stated that Astronomer being the company that allegedly these two people work for, that has debunked it. Either way, yeah, there's no reason to believe that that statement is real or actually came from anybody involved. So, if you've seen that, I'm sorry to, put a spoiler or, ruin the fun of that statement, but yeah, that one's a fake one. Some things that I do know are true, though, are that the gentleman involved in this, let's just take her back real quick. This guy, people found his wife's Facebook, and she was just inundated with messages. Apparently there were some of her posts where public comments were allowed, and they found them, and they left so many messages. I watched this unfold in real time, so I can confirm that this is real. The wife removed his last name from her name on Facebook before deleting her account entirely. His LinkedIn was also swarmed with comments, and he has now deleted his page entirely. Those are the only real updates that I have as far as that situation goes and what I've personally reported. Now, I'll give you some updates in my personal life. Of course, the video that I posted responding to this, it got quite a few views, and I ended up getting so many emails from people who were like, Lauren, I think you responded too quickly. You overreacted. What if they're not cheating? What if they're just open and in a poly relationship? What makes you think they're cheating? And it's like this.
All right, come on. You okay?
The reaction, 100% the reaction. Because here's the thing, I know people who are open, who are poly, and I think I've been pretty transparent about this. There was a time when I was a lot younger where I was a secondary partner in a poly relationship. At the time, I kind of just was it's like being single with sprinkles, I get all of the benefits of having a boyfriend and all of the benefits of getting to date whoever I want. Would never do it again, but I will say this, if he and I were ever like seen by someone that he knew out in public, there was never a point where he like tried to distance himself from me or like cover me up with a blanket or like explain anything away. Like this was a person who was literally just like, yeah, I'm literally allowed to date multiple people, so it's literally fine. Like everybody knew, everyone was on board with it, so there should be no. And some people are like, but some people, they still have to hide it because of work, and it's like, man, maybe, okay. However, at this point, this story has gotten so saturated within the social zeitgeist that my coverage truly was not the enabler of its spread. It will be cursing our timelines from now to all eternity. But the last thing that I will say about it is this. There is one thing that I freaking called. It was a low-key call out. And I don't know if any of you caught it if you saw my video. But when I covered this, I was like, I know that there are some people on the internet who are going to try and say we should give these people sympathy because it's probably just a complicated connection and they deserve understanding, not shame. And my little like bit on that was like, no, you're going to have to pay somebody to hear that because I'm shaming. Like, and I called it. I called it. Okay? I will explain what I am showing you guys on screen if you are totally somehow not part of this Dadvocate lore in the arcs of the anti-cheating rings that I have been covering. But of course, at the heart of so much anti-cheating stuff that I talk about is the account, the other woman, and the wife, who is the professional, affair-based coaching business woman who is currently embroiled in a dastardly lawsuit, unlike anything else I've seen. I have a playlist if you're interested in going down the rabbit hole, but that's a pretty decent TLDR for now. The point is, I called it. I knew that she was gonna make some kind of video because she did the same thing when Ashley Madison got hacked. She was like, oh, but won't anybody think of the cheaters? Oh, but who is going to have compassion for the people who diabolically lied to and gaslit their spouses who they expect monogamy from for God knows how long? Oh, won't anybody think of them? I knew it was coming. I knew it was. Phil, thank you so much for linking to the GoFundMe as far as that lawsuit is concerned. Again, this isn't even my lawsuit. I'm a big supporter in anti-cheater jurisdiction. I guess it's not jurisdiction. But this is the video, dude. She posts, and I'll play a little bit of the music. It's copywritten, so I'm gonna shut it off really quick, but I have to play a little bit of it because you have to know how she's portraying this. This reads, my unpopular letter to Andy and Megan. Okay, so these are the CEO embroiled in the Coldplay catching the affair on the jumbotron drama.
Try your best, but you don't succeed.
Not the sad music.
When you get what you want, but not what you need.
It reads, the hardest part isn't the mistake itself. It's having your most vulnerable moment become everyone else's entertainment. When your private pain becomes public spectacle, the shame can feel insurmountable. But here's what I know. You are not defined by your worst moment, even when the world wants to freeze you there. Before we go on, this is how all of her posts are. It's literally all like, oh, but oh, won't anybody think of the cheaters? But this time it's, Oh, but won't anybody think of the cheaters whose net worth is $50 million? Like, babes. It's crazy that like millionaires are once again getting free services. Like it's always the richest people who get the most stuff for free. She's out here charging like true victims of infidelity. What does she call the cheaters? She says people experiencing infidelity is what she calls people actively cheating on their spouses. It's just something they're experiencing. It's just something that happened to them, right? Typically, these people have to pay, I believe it's $78 a quarter, and then like up to $89 a quarter if you want like extra coaching or something. This is all publicly on her website, by the way. While she likes to accuse people of joining her website with zero proof whatsoever because she has no idea who's in there. She does not properly vet anybody or have any real protective services for that community. I've literally never joined that website. It's just on there. Typically, most people have to pay hundreds of dollars for her esteemed, prolific, experienced wisdom, her nirvana, so to say, what she has lived and breathed. But of course, the dude worth $50 million gets the free cheating advice. What? This is ridiculous. Not again. Okay, I missed something really quick. Let me catch up with the chat. Chaos Shadow, so good to see you. Thank you for the 5. Not gonna lie, I'd prefer finding out that way as opposed to following the trail of clothing to my wife naked with someone else. Let's rank top 10 best to worst ways to find out you've been cheated. As if there's a good way. Whether it's like, you know, an STD, a pregnancy, or like a random message from someone at 4 a.m. on Facebook that you only have one mutual friend with, and guess who that is? Like, there's truly no good way to find out that you've been cheated on. Wait, okay, I think I missed a super chat, and then I think I also missed someone gifted memberships. Is that what I saw? Just Ricardo, thank you for the 2. Says, wishing floor Legos for Chelsea forever. I mean, she's made 3 kids, so she's already, like, we're all getting the floor Legos, quite frankly. She is not exempt. Who freaking gifted? Where is it? I swear I just saw it. Am I crazy? Restream. Where are you on this? All right, someone in the chat, tell me who gifted. Thank you to whoever gifted, by the way. Very kind of you. Is that what I saw? Am I going crazy? I thought I just saw a bunch of green. Maybe I'm like having a brain meltdown because I'm trying to give any kind of charitability to this. And like the thing is, there are true parts to what she's saying. You know what I mean? Like in some of what she says, there are true parts. It's just you have to remember that like this is a person who is literally centering the other woman as the victim. Objectively, the person who is like the easiest to like not have any consequences, the easiest to step out of and avoid that situation. Like, anyway, this continues on to say, leaders aren't immune to being human. In fact, the pressure to be perfect often makes us more susceptible to moments of poor judgment. Your leadership isn't erased by your humanity. It's complicated by that. And it's actually more relatable than anyone wants to admit. It's like literally what she does is just like this frou-frou word salad that I'm pretty sure ChatGPT strongly assists with. That's a lot of words to just be like, dude, tons of people cheat. Like, it's seriously, bro, like, don't feel bad about it. Like, literally, who doesn't want to cheat? Like, a ton of people do it. Like, it's just basically a lot of, like, hippy-dippy bullshit to try to, like, say all of that, basically. Right now, it feels like the lights are blinding and the music has stopped, but this isn't your final song. The courage to take accountability, to reflect, and to figure out the next steps, that's where real leadership begins. Not in perfection, but in how you handle imperfection. And it's like, it's just so ironic because there's 2 sides to every coin, right? Like, real leadership isn't about being perfect, so like, You got this, champ. You know what I mean? It's also like, right, but we can also judge leadership based on your failure to stick with your commitments, based on your deceitfulness, your duality in nature, like your ability to deceive, your ability to lie. This, like, God knows, you know, a lot of people say they won't deal with people in business who cheat in their personal lives because they're likely to cheat in business as well. It's just what a lot of people say, and I don't think they're wrong to make that decision. I don't think you're wrong to be like, I don't really want to do business with the guy who's on his 5th divorce and can't stop cheating. Like, I don't think you're wrong for that, quite frankly. This part is where I was like losing it, dude. Someone once wrote about lights guiding you home. Stop. I can be corny. Okay, I can be corny. Everyone knows this about me, but like, stop. Grandma side piece, chill, stop. Sometimes we lose our way in the darkness, make choices that take us further from who we want to be. But the path home isn't about perfection. It's about the courage to keep walking toward the light, even when your bones feel broken. Oh, the poor cheaters. They must be hurting so bad right now. Ah, the people who had so many opportunities to not do that. Oh, God, that's poor them. Thank God for Chelsea. She is a beacon of light in this dark world. Your statement wasn't perfect, but it was real. You dumb bitch, it was not real. I'm sorry, because a lot of you probably did also fall for it, but I unfortunately have to all take you down with the ship because I have to keep roasting Chelsea, but like, it wasn't even real. In a world of PR crafted apologies, authentic accountability stands out. This is so embarrassing that she's saying this about a hoax joke of a statement that was never ever verified. That's I love this for her. I absolutely love this for her. The willingness to sit in your discomfort, to name the harm you've created. The harm I've created is Melody. I name my affair Melody. That's her name. All the nights that my spouse cries, I've named her Melody. And then the affair before that was Hank. Ah, Hank was such a stud. The way that like my spouse just was constantly restless and looking over his shoulder, I named that one Hank. That's what I named the harm I caused. What? What? What do you... The courage, the bravery, and to commit to doing better. That's not weakness. That's the beginning of wisdom. Right now, it might feel like this could not possibly be worse. Like if you hit the absolute rock bottom and everyone is watching. But here's what I've learned. Don't get caught up in measuring the depth of your fall or comparing your pain to others. Rock bottom isn't a competition, and your healing isn't either. Sometimes the worst thing that happens to you becomes the catalyst for the best thing you never saw coming. And then it's gonna like go into a brand thing. Oh my God. Okay, guys, I've gotten it out of my system. We're not going to spend the whole time talking about cheating Chelsea, but that's so funny. That's so funny that I knew she was going to do it. And she did. That's like literally the predictability of some people. Very entertainment, very funny. Okay, guys, like I said, I have such an itinerary for you today. The slop is gonna slop today. I have so much to feed you, especially because like I've been doing this weird thing of just like waking up at 4 a.m. and then doom scrolling and then finally going back to sleep. I don't know why. So I did that and I just have so much content for us to react to. First of all, I found this. You guys know I love to cover the partner shamers. Okay. I think I can shrinky dink this down a little bit. Make sure we are getting the full thing. See the likes ratio there. I feel like always important context. Obviously this one popped off. This is one I've covered before, okay? I'll show it to you and then we'll cover it. This is the video. It's a man walking ahead of whoever's filming, and the text overlay reads, "My hubby always walks in front of me whenever we go out, and you guys told me I should just stop walking and see what happens. LOL." So he's walking. He's walking. Finally, he like stops and starts looking around. He's like, "Wait, where did she go?" Finally he sees her and he kind of like shrugs his shoulders, like exasperated, like, "Ah, there you are. Okay, I'm coming back to you." Right? This is funny. I've definitely covered this in like my earliest days of the women-splaining men to women series that I created, of like why he walks ahead of you. And I kind of took it down like the more like funny nature of it, which has, like I said, it's always been my intent. Take the things that we fight about, see what we can laugh at, right? And I kind of compared it to, you know, like perimeter breach, like we gotta survey the land. Dudes also just walk faster. I've heard some taller dudes complain that it literally hurts to walk slow. Can't relate. I'm 5 feet tall, so I have no idea what that is like. But this is actually like a strong complaint in the gender war. Like if we were to truly have a council between the Council of Men and the Council of Women and like write an entire decree based on all of the complaints, this would be really high up there for the women, I think, is like the men need to stop walking so far ahead. They do not like it. It is known, Khaleesi, but like many people go so far as to say that this is like a narcissistic trait. It is a big red flag. People are starting to say like, you can't do this. Okay, Shadow God, I caught you this time. I caught you gifting. Shadow God, thank you so much for gifting memberships. There is actually an early release already sitting in there in the community tabs for you right now with your Discord access link. So all of you who got memberships, thank you to my patrons and YouTube members for helping support the channel so much. It means a lot. It really helps so much. So thank you so much. Enjoy your early access to the video. Everyone else, get excited because it'll be released for free very soon. You know what I mean? Members just get a little sneak peek. Anyway, right. So girls don't like when men walk really far ahead. This we know. Let's check out some of the comments. Okay, just to give you guys like a true example. What is going on? Why do I have to scroll through so many videos to get to the comments now? Sorry, boomer moment. Okay. Some of the top comments read, "Have you tried walking in the opposite direction of him and never looking back? Might be super fun." 73,000 likes. "The way he got frustrated makes me so angry." 173,000. "What should I do next? Leave him?" we all say in unison. "That's your teenage son that doesn't want to be seen with you but still needs you to pay." Red flag. TikTok search being, "If he walks ahead from you, psychological meaning is proof even the algorithm knows it's a huge red flag." The algorithm knows that that's what's most commonly searched in association with this video, is all the algorithm knows. Divorce, babe, divorce. He doesn't like you. Find a new man who is proud to walk with you. His clothes and demeanor are giving Justin Bieber vibes. Run. That's not a man, that's a teenage boy. The fact that he got upset when he turned around is another red flag. Those are things a narcissist does. He's trying to look single. If he wants to walk alone in life, let him. And it just keeps going on and on and on, right? Now, I'm not going to cover a partner shamer without at least taking a little look-a-loo around their profile, kind of getting like a vibe check. What's going on here? Is this a satire account? Is this bait? And what I have found with this account, Miss Stephanie here, is it's like the most Andy Kaufman bullshit I have seen in a while, and I don't know whether to be horrified or impressed. But the entire page is low-key partner shaming, and you would literally never know if this is satire or jokes or a woman actually trapped in the worst relationship of all time, because this is all we have. It's just, I'm Stephanie Neem 4729. Let all that you do be done in love. Corinthians. You're like, oh, okay. Kind of a regular following, not even enough to be monetized on this platform. So there's no money to be gained from doing this. But every single one of the videos, come down this rabbit hole with me. The devil couldn't reach me, so he sent me a man who literally has a rating system for girls he's cheating on. Hashtag couple goals. There's no lonelier feeling than being surrounded by friends while the person you love barely engages because he thinks they aren't that interesting. This always happens when it's his turn to pay. There's nothing more embarrassing than a friend.
I didn't go.
So they're just in on this together. They're playing on people's worst triggers in relationships for content with the express hopes of going viral enough to imaginably make money. And like, look, they're almost there, right? 2.4 million, 246,000, 2.6 million, 866K, 1.3 million, 1.4 million, 2.6 million. Like, these are bars for numbers if you're monetized. And what's crazy is, like, a fun little creator tip, but one thing I was told very early on is, with TikTok at least, the way the algorithm works is like basically your first 7 posts on TikTok will pretty much create how you are fed into the algorithm for like almost forever, is something someone told me very early on. And I started like kind of studying it with streamers whenever I had the chance to go back and see their earliest works. And you do typically see like a lot of people do like, they either pop off or they don't. And so this person is really set up for like getting tons of views, but they're literally not even monetized yet. And maybe that's just kind of one of those like, you gotta spend money to make money types of things. Like, you know, that's been me with my Facebook account. I lost my Facebook account a year ago due to the page getting broken into. If you say the HACKED word online, you will get flooded with bots. So I avoid it. But when my page was breached, I lost my monetized page. And so I've been trying to work to get it back, which I finally did. It took a year though. So just a year of delivering free content. So I do kind of get that. But the content isn't my boyfriend such a piece of shit? And obviously he's in on it. Like, obviously they're doing this together, so I can't like call this partner shaming. This is literally like, it's something the two of them have concocted. Yeah, it's definitely rage bait slop. My question is, from a business perspective, like, obviously I'm not going to go too deep into like the ethics of this. Like, I said what I said. They're definitely just like tapping on people's raw triggers of like the worst possible things that people have complained about online, and then basically like making a joke of it. So feel about that what you will. But from a business perspective, like, what is the longevity route for this? You know, like there's only so many ways you can take something before people are kind of like, oh, we know that you're those people. And it's fine if the character is likable. Let's take what's his name? Finance guy on TikTok. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? The guy who like plays a finance bro and he like has a whole schedule for all of his hookups and he's just kind of like a douche, but it's funny. So like people keep watching to find out what happens in like the finance guy lore. It can be funny. I follow a lot of satire accounts on here. But when the joke is, haha, isn't it funny that some of your relationships are so incredibly toxic and traumatic? It's like, gee, we're kind of punching down, huh? Like, don't you think? Like, that's what's the joke, haha. Like Nelson from The Simpsons, like, haha, I don't have a bad relationship. You do. Is that the joke? Really? How long can we keep that up? Like, I really hope. I don't know. I'm curious to see how stuff like this ultimately plays out and evolves or not. But it's like again, we got to fact check before we go all in. Cuz this is just the world that we live in. We live in a world of AI and rage bait, and so before we like see a sob story online and decide like I now hate your husband, do you know these people? Do you know anything about them, the situation, anything at all? Or are these two people absolutely trolling you and clowning on you behind their PayPal accounts? You know what I mean? Like, what is really going on here? It's just, we gotta really slow down and examine some of these sometimes. That's why a lot of times I'll react. And I'm pretty much reacting to situations in like a, if this were real, how would I feel about it type of way. But this is why you can't be like going and trying to like, find where people work and doing crazy stuff like that. 'Cause it's like, dude, the internet's wild. Okay? Slow down. These people are messing with us. Chaos Shadow, thank you for the generous 10. It's messed up. I saw one of the guys clearly baiting fathers, saying that they all leave their kids by choice. Still won't answer me when I asked what if he was forced out. They won't entertain those conversations. And I don't know, I think a lot of it comes from typically a place of trauma. Like there's this one guy, God, I forget his whole name. It's JD something, but the dads who get a lot of like dad content are gonna know JD Milo. That's who it is. And all of his content is him like dressing up as moms and being like the mom fighting the baby daddy in court, and it's like boxes of evidence, and all of it is like very pro mom, anti dad. And when you get into the nitty gritty of this guy's content, you find out very quickly that, he had an absent father. He had a piece of shit dad. Like, I believe there was even like violence in the home, like definitely a poor father figure. But at what point do we recognize we may be projecting a minority of men onto the greater, broader spectrum here? You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of this comes out to. And like a lot of it is also the fallacy of personal incredulity, which is basically, I would never do that, so I can't imagine anyone else would ever do that. Like there are some people like, I could never imagine abandoning my kids. So, or something like that, there's a lot of that. So it's like, I don't know. So a lot of people, I think it's mostly just their own personal experiences. Like, I guess it would be the opposite of the fallacy of personal incredulity. It'd be more like, I've never seen a dad actually be there, so I couldn't imagine it. You know what I mean? Is what they're projecting. Anyway, I had to show you guys that. I was like, it's a whole ass partner shaming account. It's like, I haven't seen an account fully dedicated to partner shaming in a while, since like the wife strike days. But that one's just entirely fake. It's a couple that's committed to like, The guy is just straight up like, yeah, just use me. I don't care. Let's make some money. How do you guys feel about that? Are you kind of like chaotic neutral on it, where you're like, whatever, get that bag, brother? Like, if as long as everybody's consenting, who cares if you want to rage bait? Or are you kind of like, that's ethically wrong, I'm opposed to it? How do you guys feel about that? Okay. Oh man, I got one for you guys. So, this is another one that went viral recently. Okay. And before we watch this, again, there's a lot of talk about how, look, I'm not gonna yap. We're just gonna watch it, and then I'll ask you if it will survive the gender swap test. That's all. That's all I'll say. All right. We've got a view from inside of a small diner, and the text overlay reads, "My cousin needs y'all to find this man for her." I fell in love with somebody. Zooms in on a dude. No further context, just zooms in on a man. Does it pass the gender swap test? What do you guys think? Is that a normal or acceptable thing? To look, legally you are allowed to film whoever you want in public. There's no expectation of privacy in public, is typically how most states find it. So if you're in public, people are allowed to film you. And if they want to use it for content, they're going to use it for content. You know what I mean? Legally, just filming him, one thing. Utilizing an audience of over 1 million people to publicly identify them. I don't know about that one, folks. I'm not sure if that's quite all right. Now, here's a fun little update, okay? As it turns out, this man, whose identity I will just be blocking out, but I guess I'll show you the picture if you want to verify the faces, do a face check, found the viral video after being quite informed after his personal socials were indeed discovered and bombarded, and had to post this story, which reads, "Yo, some trash ass broad secretly recorded me last week on talk, making shit go viral. People blowing my shit up, messaging my girl, Facebook and Jobline. I effing hate people on God. If I don't know you and you followed me, don't fucking message me. I'm locking my shit and blocking you on God." They really frustrated this man. They really made this man go into lockdown mode. This man is like not even trying to leave his house right now. Not messaging the girl, not causing drama in the relationship. Why? Because he went out to the diner to catch up with a homie over a hamburger. All that. All that. Unbelievable, dude. The Watchman, thank you so much for the 5, says ethically it's abhorrent. Morally, it's vile. Personally, I'm making popcorn corn. I'm sure it just meant to say one corn, but I read both. Chaos Shadow, thank you for the 5. Says, if I told my Instagram followers to find this girl I'm trying to date, the 5 brothers I don't yet know she has would be having a chat with me in 24 hours. No, seriously though. You're not even wrong about that. Actually, a lot of people would be quite upset about this. Like, I think the comments would be more along the lines of like, dude, you're weird for this. Like, that's not normal. This is unhinged. Her comment section, name dropping. Now, the reason I'm like showing this so commonly too is I think all of these names are wrong, but I'm not sure. Either way, the dude Scott has accounts on lockdown, so hopefully he's not even getting any more requests at the moment. But yeah, people are like trying to report his Facebook, all kinds of stuff. Like, just people, I found him, like, all kinds of stuff, just people thirsting, but not a single comment of anybody being like, hey, can we not? This is uncomfortable. Not a single vote of like, hey, so maybe we don't do that. Maybe we don't, essentially cyber stalk people. This also goes back into like something I was saying during our last stream, which was like, I was kind of talking about how like, how could anybody possibly just look at someone and know, oh, they would satisfy me. Like, this is a person that would just rock my world. Like, just visually, like, how can you possibly know anything else about a person? Like, I don't know. Like, I have the ability to look at people and be like, oh, they're visibly attractive. Of course, right? But like, I feel like it's such a character flaw, and maybe like the powers that be designed this on purpose as like just a little bit of fun chaos in the world of humanity. But I feel like it's such a flaw to think you can look at someone and know that they would be good for you just by like just wanting to pursue them and like so publicly. Like, don't you want to make like maybe check and see if they have a criminal background or a girlfriend? I don't know. Twodros, that's adorable. Twodros said that he was at an anime convention and she was in a video game tournament. He was kind of looking around for her, but it turns out she was looking for him as well. That's actually a really cute story. It's like, what a win too. Like, it's always such a good feeling when you like have a crush on someone and then you find out that they have a crush back on you. Me and TJ. Okay, so listen. Next up, this one has been going ultra viral. This is another one that you guys are all like, Lauren, please cover this. You need to cover this. So a lot of you may have seen this. What we are looking at is a viral clip of a woman out to eat, and the text overlay reads, "Other girls talking to my man, San Francisco edition." So apparently there's additions to this. There's different episodes of this level of relationship insecurity. That's so great. Let's watch them all. This is the one.
Is it good with the syrup?
I'm gonna turn it up.
I'm sorry. What is that?
Okay, so I haven't heard much yet, but the text overlay reads before it goes away. "Call me insecure, but it rubs me the wrong way when other girls talk to my man and don't even bother to acknowledge me." So far I've heard a female voice say, what is that?
Smoked salmon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She says, cue the eye roll. She goes on to say, it was obviously smoked salmon. Who doesn't know what smoked salmon is? Now he's in trouble for being polite.
Like I bit the onion. I bit the onion.
LMFAO, poor guy. Overcompensating with conversation because he knows I'm livid.
It doesn't, you can't just bite into it.
Girls with no manners are the worst. So to recap, the entire exchange, the entire inciting incident, if you will, for this entire debacle, this war on their relationship, this cancerous lump on the teat of society, is that during their meal, a woman, another woman who is not his girlfriend, approached him and asked, "What is that?" To which he actually replied to this other girl, "It's smoked salmon." As if can you even read the plate? Obviously it's smoked salmon. Get out of here. Get away from my man. Get away from him and his smoked salmon with your diabolical succubus face. Okay? What was she thinking? Like, where are her manners? Was she raised in a barn? A barn of Satanist occult side piece witches? Whatever could bring a woman to such vulgar behavior, and then to entertain this disgusting filth on the bottom of my Louboutin heel. He dares to go on and say, "I've had it with the onion." My man fully cheated on me in front of me. Can't even believe it. Like, what did we just watch right now? This is so insane and unhinged, and she is being read to filth right now by the internet. Like, they're going hard on her right now. Okay? Also, I'm going to respond to the one super chat I missed. I caught it. Trey Poe, good to see you again. Thank you for the 5. Since I don't believe in love at first sight, you don't know them until they start speaking or through actions. I even think the actions speak louder than words, quite frankly. So, this was posted by the account All Things Kimmy. The caption is PMTFO, which is like Gen X for pissed me the f off. All right. So in the comments, I don't think I'll be able to see them on browser, but right now, if you view on mobile, TikTok has added a feature where you can actually respond in comments with images, and people are literally just posting various captures of her eating throughout. So it'll just be like stuff like this, or just like any various freeze frames of like just food in her mouth, like all the big mouthfuls that she's taking. And it's a really funny meme at the moment. I can't even lie. Like, seeing just every single response to everything being just her with a chicken. And they're doing it throughout all of her other videos too. Like, I'll see if we can see anything. I remember this one. This is another crazy thing about this account too. Everything about the situation and this woman is wild. So of course there's that entire behavior. She absolutely crashes out because a woman dares ask her man what he's eating, which, like, so relatable, dude. I think we can literally all relate to like those rare times in a restaurant where you see something so fucking good and you're like, dude, what is that called? Because you want to order it now. I have done it. That's not a weird thing to do at all. But also, why is someone gonna like interrupt you and acknowledge you and start talking to you when you've got food in your mouth? I get so annoyed when people like ask me a question after they see that I've just taken like a mouthful. Like, I'm not ready yet. I need to chew. You know what I mean? Like, what is she supposed to do? Like, do you mind if I speak to your assigned male? Like, that's crazy, dude. Absolutely unhinged. But it gets worse. Ryan Downing, thank you for the 5. It reminds me of the lady who crashed out because of eye contact from a man. Yeah, we definitely covered that too. This gets so much weirder though, okay? Because here's the profile, all things Kimmy. We have roughly 1,300 followers. Honestly, 1,300 is like a normal number, I would say, for like a personal account. Like my most personal social media account has 700 people on it, of like people in my closest circles that I know in my personal life. Okay? 1,300 is not even what most people would consider like a micro influencer. Like, especially on TikTok, you're expected to have more if any brands are to work with you or anything like that. You know what I mean? You're not monetized. And yet, somehow, without fail, every single one of her videos has between 40,000 and over 100,000 views. Yet, when you actually click on them and look at them, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the formatting by copying and pasting this there. That way you can view everything. Here, how is it that this video allegedly has over 100,000 views, but only 53 likes? The math is not mathing. Bot purchasing detected, dude. I want to see. Are the pictures showing up? Dang it. Yeah, you can see where they're posting photos. It says photo, but like you can't see all of the different stills of her eating the friggin' whatever it is she's eating. Dare I even ask her what she's eating while she has a boyfriend? But dude, this woman is like not only so insecure that she cannot handle her boyfriend having a basic human interaction with other females in very normal human circumstances, but she also feels the need to hyper-inflate and like gild her social presence by literally buying views in order to look more popular and entertaining. The secondhand embarrassment is literally gnawing away at my insides. Like, every hair on the back of my neck is sticking up as I'm like forced to actually feel bad for this person. Like, Jesus Christ, Santa, please give this girl some confidence for Christmas because I cannot handle it. There is no need. There is no need for any of this. Oof, dude. But also, men, if you find yourself in a situation like this, you gotta start reaching out to your resources, okay? This is your sign. Even like slightly remotely like this. Even if like your situation isn't this bad, but it reminds you of your situation, you're like, my girl's posted like things like this about me before, but it's not this bad. Like, this might be your sign to start making moves, like low key. Don't say what you're doing, just start getting your resources and your support group together and fleeing. You know what I'm saying? Just might be the time to flee, dude. Oh yeah, but they are eating this girl alive in the comments, dude. That she's getting flamed so hard everywhere. Tawotro says, Lauren, this is how my mom is with me and my brother. Not joking, dude. This is what I'm saying. Like, and it's funny because I've literally told Tawotro the same thing. I'm like, I know that's your mom, dude, but like, have you considered going no contact? Cause I'm just saying, it doesn't mean you never have to ever speak to them again, but some people, they don't know what they've got till it's gone. Whoever in the Discord posted the Screaming Man painting, but it's the couple that got caught on the jumbotron. Stop, because I keep looking over at it and laughing during the stream. Okay, next up. This one is actually a photo set. So, audio only crew, you're good. You just have to listen to me read you things. It's just the same photo the entire time, and all you need to know is it's a woman posing. You know, that's all you really need to know. It's the text overlay that matters. And this one popped off, you know, 250,000 likes, which probably means that she's got, you know, at least 1 million views on the photo set. But interestingly, you may notice comments turned off. Comments turned off. The text overlay reads, "Reasons I choose to never live with a man." Now, first of all, I'm just going to start by saying, if you don't want to live with a man, I'm not here to be like, no, you have to live with a man. Okay, then don't live with a man. Like, you know what I mean? As far as life is concerned, okay. But let's hear her reasons. 1, I don't feel like cosplaying all day. All the extra effort to always be physically appealing to meet the approval of the male gaze. Running around serving him, cooking, cleaning, shaving every other day, making sure he's comfy. Way too much energy. Again, I'm not the PR guy for rehoming men. I have no agenda to get you to live with a man. If you don't want to live with a man, I am not here to convince you to live with a man. But in response to this, as a woman who lives with a man, let's address this point for point. I ain't cosplaying shit. I am like 100% the raw, burping, farting, rootin', tootin' deal around here, as are most wives. Right, chat? Like, those of you married folks, you're like, my feral wife raccoon is not cosplaying in this home. Like, I think that's most married men's experience. But to all this extra effort to be physically appealing to meet the approval of the male gaze. Ugh, I'm so sick of this con that it's men who need women to have the false lashes and the lip injections, and I have the perfect one that we'll transition to after this. Actually, on this note, I have the perfect segue for the next one after this. Because it's not true, it's us. We are doing that to each other. Like, when I actually talk to men in the wild, they are not like, yeah, I like really like you because my last girlfriend didn't really have eyelashes and you have really long eyelashes. Or like, they're not, you know what I mean? Like, I think that there are a lot of shallow guys out there. I think that there are conventional standards of fitness and beauty that help. Absolutely. But dude, like, most of the time that I am existing with my husband, I am not wearing makeup. My hair is not done. This man sees me at my worst, at my most sick. You guys, I will never forget that picture he took of me after my septoplasty surgery to correct my deviated septum, when I'm just like passed out on the couch like this, just like no makeup at all, like stents in my nose, just bloody gauze. Like that. Yeah, dude, he was not interested in leaving me. Okay, some men, absolutely. Most men, come on. Samantha says stay home mom look. Most men don't care. Mine doesn't. Dude, yeah, she gets it. Sam gets it. Her man's obsessed with her too. Cash Shadow says true pain is the smell of your hot wife's fart. Dude, TJ is so funny. Whenever I fart, I mean, if it's like a hard fart, you know what I mean? He'll be like, nice, babe. Like, I'll get like a rating system, typically. I try to not absolutely suffocate the man, though. Not with my farts, anyway. Ayo. Anyway, the next point. Running around serving him. Cooking, cleaning. Listen, here's the deal, okay? So if you're in any way religious, and I'm not even talking about just Christianity, I would say one common factor that I've found between most religions in the world is that one of the greatest purposes of mankind is to serve one another. Agree or disagree? I enjoy studying different religions, dipping my toes in all of the fountains, so to speak, you know, seeing what we can all agree on, you know what I'm saying? And that seems to be one of them, is most religions, most general social collective thought agrees that the purpose of humanity is to serve each other, and some religions delve deeper into and serving your Lord. And under those, there's a lot of talk of, you know, serving your spouse, honoring your spouse. And that is what most functions of marriage are kind of based around. And like, as long as it's reciprocal, as long as it's not just one person carrying the entire relationship, I think that there's a lot of pride and honor to have in two spouses serving each other. And even if you don't get married, shit, just like two committed people serving each other. You know, I don't see why that necessarily has to have such a negative connotation. You know what I mean? Like, literally, yesterday I literally served TJ dinner in the Bowser Bowl that he got to take home when we ended up getting to eat at the Mushroom Cafe at Nintendo World, which was like a major bucket list item. And it was like so cool that he got to take home the Bowser Bowl, but he like tucked it away and he always forgets to use it. And I was like, my king is eating out of the Bowser Bowl tonight. You know what I'm saying? I loved that feeling. The fact that he ate every last bit of it too was also like a wife excellente moment for me. You know what I mean? Ryan actually disagrees with me, you know, says, disagree, humans' purpose of humanity is data preservation and progressing knowledge. Now, to be fair, I said one of. So I agree, like, in unison. In unison, though, that's also great. And it's also, like, as far as the cooking, cleaning, this is why I won't live with a man, you're gonna have to cook and clean anyway. You are gonna be cooking and cleaning anyway. Like, that's one thing that I really had to talk myself down, is so much of my channel is based around the fact that I was able to recognize, luckily early enough on into my marriage, how easy it is to get sucked into toxic social media ideas that could have me quickly painting my husband as some kind of like super villain if I didn't choose to afford some benefit of the doubt and use my curiosity to actually explore his priorities, ways of doing things, and things like that, which led to like the womansplaining series and things like that. But like, one thought that I used to have when I was like inundated with stuff that's like, you know, women do all the housework and men just have life on easy mode and women are just slaves to their husbands and like all that kind of stuff, I would find myself doing housework and I would be like, God, I'm so mad that TJ didn't do this and I'm stuck doing it. And I had to like step back and remind myself, like, dude, are you mad that TJ's not doing this chore, or are you mad that the chore has to be done? Like, are you, like, what are you really mad at? Like, if TJ was not here tomorrow, you would still have the laundry and no one to cuddle up with and watch different game shows with at night. And that sucks. So it's like, yeah, are you cooking and cleaning? Yeah, of course, you'll be cooking and cleaning for the rest of your life. Like, of course there's more if you choose to have kids, you know, if you choose to swap off on chores, you know, then if he's doing the dishes and you're doing the laundry, there will be more of it, for sure. But then you have one other person doing another chore and then you go cuddle. Like, if it's all about the logistics, people. Divide and conquer, man. It ain't that deep. Again, though, if you still don't want to live with a man, don't live with a man. Shaving every other day, ladies, they don't actually give a fuck like that. They really don't. I know that there's going to be some of the ladies in the chat who are like, no, because I've dated guys who tell me like, oh, wow, you're getting a little bit prickly and it makes me self-conscious. Like, there's always going to be guys like that, but like, they will probably be embarrassed to know that there's probably more guys than that are not really gonna care like that. You know what I mean? Like, and as long as you're like basically maintaining hygiene, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There are definitely a few days where I have not shaved, and I'll even comment before TJ does. I'm like, I'm getting hairy down there. And he's just like, there's never once been a time that TJ's been like, hey, you need to clean up, dude. Like, plenty of dudes do not care, so that's not mandatory either. Yeah, there's gonna be some that care. There are gonna be some. You'll find ones who don't care, for sure. Making sure he's comfy. Way too much energy. Sounds like you just shouldn't date. I feel like we talk a lot about the bare minimum as women. Isn't it literally like the bare minimum of dating to make your partner feel comfortable? Or if you can't make them feel comfortable because of external factors beyond your control, you're at least trying to help them get comfortable. Isn't that literally like the bare minimum? Even if they're not even your dating partner, if you're simply coexisting with a human in a shared setting and you can see that they're visibly uncomfortable, isn't it like a natural instinct to like look into it, assist in some way, if not just like keeping eyes on the situation? Like, I just don't feel like you should date, quite frankly, which I feel like if that's what you meant when you said I'll never live with a man, great. But like, I feel like even dating you without sharing a house would probably be exhausting and not fun. 2, not trying to get cracked all the time. At first I didn't know if she meant that in like a DV kind of way, and I was about to be like, that's not the common dating experience. But she means cracked in like a going to Pound Town kind of way. I've never heard it called that. I've never heard that as a euphemism before. Maybe this is like an intercultural thing that I'm not understanding. But she goes on to say, currently celibate, but if I do want it, I want it on my own time, not at their convenience. Well, then wouldn't it just be at your convenience then if it's on your time? Wouldn't they have every right to say the same thing then? Oh, well, now isn't when I want it. Do they have to acquiesce when you want it? Like, what? Maybe you should also just stay celibate as well. Chaos Shadow said, thank you for the 10. That's so generous. Says, people always talk about the negatives. Aside from the plentiful nudity, there will be Mario Kart nights, Nerf battles, random recipe nights, etc. Assuming your partner doesn't think it's kid stuff. Some of the best parts of adult dating are the kid stuff, quite frankly, dude. She goes on to say, I don't want someone to have constant access to my energy or my body. I mean, that's also on you. Like, marital rape is illegal in all 50 states. Like, your husband is not supposed to just recklessly access you, right? Ideally, like, you've talked to men before, right? Have you spoken with men? Like, you understand that, like, many of them understand consent. Most, I would argue. Too much wear and tear on the kitty. Also, my love language is not physical touch. Girly pop, what? Why are you, a woman, falling victim to the hoax that a vagina can get stretched out from too much intercourse? This is a fabricated idea. That is a silly conclusion. We're not going to get too TMI on this, but plenty of people have plenty of reason to believe that their spouse is still plenty tight despite many a pounding. Okay, I would say a lot of the married guys in my chat would probably say the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird because, like, women are typically the ones pushing back against that narrative, saying that it's, like, misogynistic to imply that vaginas can become stretched out. Now, childbirth, different story. Can change the general structure and integrity of the kitten, so to speak. Okay, but they're designed to go back to being widow. They're designed to go and then you, like, that is what they're designed for. You will be okay, ma'am. She says, also, my love language is not physical touch. She is like, don't touch me. Nothing. Which is fine. Honestly, all of this is fine. I'm not clowning on anything that she wants to have for herself, dude. I'm trying to explain to other people. Observing, like I said, we cannot save these people. We can just learn from these people. 3, I like farting and burping in peace. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Do you remember the guy who made the my girlfriend just farted in front of me for the first time cake? Shout out to that guy, okay? 4, infringing on my space. I don't want him touching or moving my I want to decorate things exactly how I want them. I don't want to have to consider someone else in everything that I do in my own home. Temperature, colors, etc. It's at this point in the slideshow that I'm starting to actually respect her. And here's why. Because a lot of women feel the exact same way that she feels and yet choose to go move in with a man anyway. You know what I mean? I think it's very apparent, and a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. There are a lot of women who feel the exact same way that she does, but they still go ahead and marry a man and move in with a man and go and have kids with that man and are pissed that he wants to be intimate regularly, wants to add his own design and opinions to shared spaces, wants to add his own opinions and designs and plans to their shared schedules. And they don't like that. And they would rather just be able to be the boss, somehow having ownership of him as well. You know what I mean? So actually, this might sound crazy, but thank God that she has fully owned this about herself. Because a lot of people will stay in denial about it. She knows exactly what she wants. She is not interested in settling. And most importantly, she is not interested in leading anyone on to believe anything different about herself. So you know what? Pop off, queen. Okay? I'm actually loving it. 5, I like to be baby powdered up like a Hostess donut 90% of the time. What does that mean? I'm assuming just makeup all the time. And I don't like being freaked on, messed with after my final shower routine of the day. Yeah, she's just a cat. She's just a cat. There's literally nothing wrong with that. Like, not everybody is meant to live forever with another man or not. I don't think she should live with women either. Truly. I don't think she would even like living with another woman. I think she should always live by herself, which is fine. I hope she like gets a dog or something to protect herself. It's always a good, if you're gonna live by yourself, rule. 6, picking up after adults. I have OCD. I don't know what that means. And men are like children. I will put you out. Okay, so basically the whole, like, men are messy. Men don't know how to do anything. So, but yeah, she knows. She already knows that a man will never do right in her eyes. And so she's just choosing. I love this for her. I love it. She is not dating. She is not moving in with anybody. She is removing herself from being any man's problem. This is excellent. If only they were all like this when they are like this. You know what I mean? And yes, Gamer Daddy, women can be messy too. Abso-freaking-lutely. 7, can't sleep in the same bed. In my 35 years of living, I have yet to have gotten a full night's sleep next to a man. I typically end up sleeping like a cat, waking up frustrated and restless. My body can't do it. When I spread eagle, I want to feel endless cold, clean Egyptian cotton sheets, not dry, calloused, hard feet. I want to sleep diagonally in this Cal King with no sheets magically disappearing. I mean, okay, pop off. Do your thing, girl. Love that for you. Go ahead. It's perfectly fine to just be single forever, too. Some people forget that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not personally, like, I think that she gets some things wrong, and I don't like the way that she, like, paints relationships as, like, those of us who do live with a man are just, like, constant maids, mothers, birthing machines with no autonomy. Like, I don't know, man, it's 2025. Like, most of us are able to, like, have decisions about this. It's not like divorce is still illegal. You don't even have to get married. I know that people are like, but there's still so much pressure. Just say no. Just don't. You know what I mean? It's fine. I love, though, that she's just like, don't date me because I don't like it. Okay. Bet. That easiest decision of my life. This one's a short one.
And I saw.
But a good one. It's also, I never understand how people capture these things. Same with the girl from earlier who, like, captured the girl asking her boyfriend if he was eating smoked salmon or whatever. Why was she filming in the first place? Was also annoying. But, like, people who film everything to the point of capturing moments like this. I'm starting to think that, like, just simply filming everything is, like, the main red flag. I've been thinking that for a long time. Who am I kidding? Onward and upward to the clip. We have a woman, seemingly in a vehicle, and the text overlay reads, actual footage of me getting broken up with.
And I saw your computer, and you had a Zillow link of my ex's house. And I don't know, that's just like, to me, that just signifies more red flags. I don't know, like, how much you're peering into my life. That just makes me a little bit uncomfortable. We've been dating for 2 weeks, and I just don't know.
And that's where it ends. Actual footage of me getting broken up with, and it is a man who she has been dating for roughly 2 weeks, telling her that he saw that she was looking up his ex-girlfriend's Zillow location where she lives. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there's a right time in dating to start Googling where your partner's exes live. But at 2 weeks in, I think you can safely hit the eject button. I don't think anyone's gonna judge you. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, oh, but think of all you've invested in together. No, that's a good one to just call it. I think, I don't know if the chemistry, the looks, or anything is really gonna matter. Like how soon is too soon to start stalking your partner's exes? When is the right time? I think that's probably just a predominantly, I would suggest avoiding that behavior altogether. Altogether, I would say not a great reaction. Let's do a fun little game that I like to play called Does It Survive the Gender Swap Test? Imagine a man is recording himself, almost trying to look like this is a funny situation or that he's the victim, and a girl is reprimanding him and scolding him because she's found him looking up her ex's house. I don't know. Do you think people would find it funny? I guess if they assumed that it was satire, they might find it funny. This one certainly got a lot of engagement though. We have about over 500,000 likes on the video. Comments include things like just an innocent Zillow scroll, almost 200,000 likes. Him snooping in your computer while lecturing you is the biggest red flag. Over 200,000 likes. So now they found a way to turn it around on him, because why did he look at her computer to see what she was Googling? Which, fair play, fair call out, quite frankly, if he truly was snooping without her permission and came across it, then now we're both at fault. Now we're both snoopers. Now the snooper has been snooped upon. Okay? But if he was just like hanging out with her and happened to notice there was an open tab like on her browser, you can't really fault him for that. You know what I mean? I would have to know the details of how he truly came across this situation. But it's also not lost on me that the women are instantly coming to her defense. Him snooping on your snooping. God forbid a girl be a private investigator. Wait till he finds out I've already looked up his dad's tax records. You literally can't do that, though, but okay. Wait till he finds out we're all the same. Well, that's discouraging. Me on this channel trying to constantly tell you guys, no, guys, these are rare situations. Not all girls are like that. Like, come on, guys, not all girls are like that. Over 100,000 likes on that, though. Oh no, we're not beating the allegations today, women. Zillow link is level 1. What's his prob? 2 weeks and he's looking at the computer? Red flag. Honey, we would have the Zillow link before the first date. This is not untrue canon, though. This is, like, not even hyperbole, though. Again, I have a deep dive on the Are We Dating the Same Guy groups, and in it, I discuss how many women are posting in there trying to gather information on men before they've even met them. This is a thing. Like, I'm not saying it's every woman. I'm not saying it's the majority of women, but it's many. It is many. It happens. Tewodros says, hot take, I don't think she's wrong for this. Looking up where the X stays? That is a hot take. Okay, chat, commence arguing. That's a wild call. Let's see how that one plays out. I was not expecting that one, much less from you, Tewodros, but alright, let that one play out in the chat and the comments. I'm curious. Googling your partner's ex's addresses. Yay? Nay? Look, contextually, I could see reasons for it, right? Because I will say, I would recommend, like, public data searches, you know, like quick background checks if you're planning to seriously date someone, just in case, especially if you're a parent. I would recommend it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Some people are like, oh, that's such an invasion of privacy. It's literally public data. Like, you're allowed to see if someone is a dirty criminal. You know, there are things that I've learned about people through publicly accessible information that are like, I am very glad I never left you alone with my child. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do not regret that at all, especially when it comes to kids. But I would have to, like, find something deep, like some kind of public lawsuit involving their ex. And, like, if I found out that their, like, ex was crazy and still stalking them and still a threat to them, I might look them up at that point just to, like, see how much danger I was in. Contextually, though, it doesn't sound like that's the situation. Tewodros literally then goes on to follow that up with my, like, most charitable assumption, which is, Lauren, in a town like Lansing, you have to, because women here date violent criminals that will just pull up on you once you show up on her profile. Dude, that's crazy. Absolutely unhinged and wild. Yeah, like I said, in that specific case, I could see it. Between gals, though, I don't know. I don't know, though. But maybe. I love that you're like, actually, though, yes. But do we need the gavel on this one? What do you guys think? Googling your partner's ex. Justifiable or a red flag? Vote in the chat, y'all. We'll start getting into the next thing, though. Alright, let's turn off the license music on this one. Okay. In this next video, we have a woman kind of just standing in her kitchen, and the text overlay reads, "So you can look at your man's phone whenever you want? Yeah, I didn't marry a loser." The rest of the video with the text overlay is her walking over to her man's phone. I have to state this because it comes into play later in the comments section. The home screen is a picture of them, and he is in a police officer uniform. Then the next home screen, because on iPhones you can have two different ones, once it's locked and unlocked, it's another picture of them. She takes it, she goes over and sits down next to him. She's in his Instagram, and he just kind of smiles, puts his arm around her, gives her a smooch, then goes back to whatever it is he's doing. I have to go back to it now because I accidentally clicked the next video. But caption reads, his DMs are just golf and memes. Hashtag daddy. Hashtag relationship goals. Now, when it comes to whether or not you have an open phone policy, like, everybody is different. Me and TJ have complete access to each other's shit. It's just so much easier, and there is a lot to be said for the fact that I did work in tech for quite a while, and one of the things that I learned is that one thing that a ton of people are not prepared for is where their electronic data goes when they pass away, right? So I feel more comfortable knowing that I have like a direct heir to all of my digital data. There's nobody going to be like scrambling to figure out any of my passwords because my most trusted ally in my life has them. You know what I'm saying? We have nothing to hide from each other. It's a complete open book around here. You know what I mean? But it's also not like a center point of like what I brag about necessarily. But I personally watched this and I didn't have much to say about it. I'm like, okay, like, I don't necessarily think it's indicative of a loser to not necessarily like have everybody in their stuff. You know, there are certainly some situations with spouses, such as therapists and doctors, that have confidential information on their phone, and therefore they're like not allowed to allow their spouse access to it. Some things that I've heard about happening throughout life, you know? But nonetheless, I knew that when I went into the comments section, it was gonna be rowdy. So come with me on this journey. Top comment. Yeah, I'm actually sincerely traumatized. I literally look the other way when he pulls his phone out. Definitely a weird response. Definitely an overcorrection one way or the other. Someone says, I think we forgot loyalty is the bare minimum. I love that they put bare minimum that way. They really did choose the bare, huh? And basically non-existent, huh? I mean, that's the interesting thing about loyalty, is it can exist without superveillance, right? Or maybe she just has an amazing husband. And then, okay, this is where it gets weird. Oh, he's a cop? Yeah, he has a second phone. they can be with you 24/7 and let you look in their phone and still cheat on you. He definitely has another phone. Most cops do. Those are the ones to watch out for. They're the ones that know how to hide it best. Y'all, tell me why the creator liked all 4 of these comments. Were we just liking without reading? Or like, damn, you posted this thinking that you were gonna like flex how loyal your man is, and they still just fed you insecurity. I talk about this all the time on my channel, how this is also one of the biggest issues with partner shaming, is like you can post these like incidences of your partner effing up to the world, and the problem is that no one's going to come in and help you afford the benefit of the doubt. They're not going to be like, oh, my husband used to do this, but we talked through it, we worked it out, and everything's great now. I love that man with all my heart. It's always like, this is what drove me and my husband to divorce. Oh, I had a husband who did this. He's now my ex-husband, and I'm living so much happier. Or like, if he does this, he hates you. It always makes everything so much worse because people online will feed you like the worst possible scenarios all the time. And it's like, even in situations like this where she's not even partner shaming, she's literally attempting to partner praise and is still getting fed stuff like, yeah, but he's still cheating on you, and like all cops cheat and crazy stuff like this, and she's liking it. And she's enabling it and playing into it still. Like, it's crazy that she tried to partner praise and it had all the same results and reactions as a partner shaming video anyway. Why would you like comments like that? I'm trying to like speculate with every brain cell left in my skull why a person would possibly want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I just, are you liking it just to be nice because you're happy that people engaged with your post and you want to go more viral? Are you liking it because you appreciate them putting you on to something and now you are going to start looking for a second phone? Like, what does that mean? Chaos Shadow, thank you for the 2. Surprise, surprise, the goalpost moved. Nope, you actually still have to prove to the internet your husband is loyal. Actually, he did not quite pass so easily. Goalpost, time to move it. We're gonna have to move that to the other side of the field, y'all. All the rest of these comments, girl, they still do it. She liked that one. I can't believe how many of these she's liking. We have to keep going. Mine hid his in his patrol car. Stay safe, sis. Liked. He's smart and keeps the good stuff on his other phone. Liked. Doesn't mean anything. I had this with my boyfriend. Phone was clean. He was still cheating. Liked. Girl, what are you liking about these situations? Is this a misery loves company situation? But I knew as soon as I saw the police uniform that they were going to start lighting this man up. I knew people were like, I smell bacon, let's get him! Eric R says, Lauren, just because you read comments before hitting the like button doesn't mean everyone else does. I know better as a creator. That's the thing, is like people try to blame me a lot for comments that exist in my comment section, which is such a fallacy in the world of criticizing content creators. Is I hate when people try to criticize a content creator based on like the worst comments in their comment section. Here's the thing. Especially creators who end up occasionally going viral. Creators with larger audiences than like a select handful of people. It can be extremely challenging to read every single comment. You're really not going to be able to without spending an ungodly amount of time on your phone. That is way better dedicated to other things. You know what I mean? But like, unless a comment has my like next to it or a comment underneath of me saying like, yeah, I completely agree with this, there's no reason to believe that I endorse it just because it exists in my comment section. You know what I'm saying? I hate when people are like, oh, she must approve of these comments because they're still there. No, it just means that if someone reported it, the team did not take it down yet, or I haven't seen it. Or if I did see it, I didn't think that it was grotesque enough to delete, but I'm still okay with open discourse. You know what I mean? But Dylan says, I apologize if you've ever been judged by my terrible comments. That's so funny. Okay, wait. I think I might have lied to you guys earlier. I think I may have lied when I said that I got all of the cheating Chelsea videos out of the way, because I think there's one more that I wanted to criticize. Okay, besides the Coldplay one, there is one more cheating Chelsea video that I gotta get it out of my system, y'all. I gotta roast. I gotta drag. I gotta pick it apart. But first, I need to change out my camera battery. I don't need to do a full BRB right now, but give me just one quick minute. I'm gonna change out my camera battery before it dies on me. I know it's close, and then we'll jump right into it. But I don't need to leave. You're so back. Okay. All right. Someone timestamp this for the Discord. I know someone in there is gonna wanna catch this segment. She also has dyed her hair recently. I don't know if maybe she's starting to like get recognized in public in a bad way and is trying to like rebrand visually or something. But this is a video that she posted and I just need to take some time to pick it apart. I'm gonna let the first little bit of the song play out so you can kind of help like get a feeling for like the vibe that our favorite cheater is going for here as she reacts to this comment. Audio only crew, I do feel like it might be helpful to like just take a glance here because these crazy eyes are going so hard right now. And I feel like contextually it adds on to what we're about to bear witness to. So I'll read it in a second, but here's like the vibe. She loves using Taylor Swift, by the way. I've seen like some of the funniest comments where people are like, I hope Taylor Swift sues her. Because it's like every other video is a Taylor Swift song as she's like, it's actually like people don't even understand, like cheating is really not that bad. And like, it's just a complicated connection. Okay. Like she really thinks that Taylor Swift would be like supportive of this or something. So she facetiously writes, breaking news, and she's reacting to this comment from Gator Ken, and Gator Ken leaves this criticism. You are totally full of shit. You can't gain that stuff from an affair partner because it's not the same playing field. You are giving them a perfect space to operate. No bills, taxes, mortgages, etc. Not the, and then it cuts off. But what I imagine Gator Ken is trying to say is a pretty commonly held criticism about those who engage in affairs is that it's basically like an easy option. It's not like, because one common thing that Chelsea tries to have on her channel is that affairs are real love, and it's not fair for people to try to invalidate them as just limerence or just a workplace crush or even a fantasy, that it is real love, and how dare you invalidate what they share. It's cruel. It's not human of you, okay? The demons are not being released from you, okay? But that's what she like preaches on her channel. And a common criticism, of course, though, is like people said, you know, affairs are often easier because you don't actually have to deal with the complexities of life, which is true. But here's Chelsea trying to like you, but it didn't. Like, her whole point is like, I'm now better than you. Like, this is how she tries to like do it. Here's her like clapback, I guess. She writes, according to Ken, affairs come with a complimentary life management service. Dude, I have not seen someone so willfully ready to misinterpret on purpose what people are saying since Dean Withers took a guy saying, I would never allow my children to participate in beauty pageants, and take that to mean, so you're saying that your child can't consent to being in beauty pageants and therefore you agree with child trafficking? Like, what? I'm sorry, what? How did we make such a leap from him saying an affair is not the same as true committed marital love because you are not going through the same daily challenges that put that love to the test, essentially. And she's saying, oh, so you're saying that affairs are just a one-size-fits-all solution? Like, obviously not. No one is saying that an affair is a life management service. I think we're all saying that an affair is likely to ruin your life, is likely to extraordinarily complicate it. What Ken is arguing, and what most people who make this argument are arguing, is that the affair seems so attractive because you're in this bubble where you're not picking up their dirty socks from around the house. You're not arguing over the right way to load a dishwasher. Like, you exist in like Meijer parking lots and hotel rooms, and you have to admit, you guys might have chemistry. There might be a lot of things that you agree with and get along on, and you might vibe well, but the situation inherently lacks reality because you are both being duplicitous, because you are both feeding in to something that is not real. Like, it's literally something that you're hiding. How can you call something that you're hiding the same as being surface level real? You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. I love potato slices. Okay, adultery is bad, okay, kids? It's not good. But here she is like dancing again while like slopping out bullshit pro-affair drivel. She says your responsibilities will handle themselves while you're otherwise occupied. That's not what Gator Ken is saying. That's what you're saying, though. That's what cheaters seem to think. Look, the fact of the matter is, during all of the time that cheaters spend with their affair partner, instead of where they said that they're supposed to be or where they are supposed to be, someone is picking up the slack. And Gator Ken's not the one saying that, but you're the one accidentally tattling on yourself. You know? I'm sure that all of the days that cheaters play hooky at work and there's mysteriously money missing from what's supposed to go to the family, you don't think that the other spouse might have to now pick up shifts to make up for that? Or the chores that spouse was supposed to be doing at home, you don't think that like, oh, he spent another morning with his affair partner and the lawn's getting overgrown. I guess now I have to hire a lawn mowing service or do it myself. You don't think that's happening in all this time that you're spending in your double life? The original criticism, like, no one was saying that except for you, ma'am. Except for you. And yet here she is singing like Taylor Swift. Like, and yet you're wrong. Like, you're so... Like, this is so much unwarranted self-confidence comes from this woman's sunburnt face. It's ridiculous. She's still singing along. She's giving us time to catch up, which is nice of her. You know, a lot of times she just keeps the text, like, flying by. Get ready to pause and read. Responding to this comment because it highlights a crucial misconception many people have about affairs, that they exist in some magical bubble separate from reality. It's not magic. We all know that it's not magic. That's actually the criticism. That's actually, it's a bubble separate from reality, but it's not a magical bubble. It is like that's what we're trying to tell you. Like, what do you mean affairs are separate from reality? Are you open and honest about them? No? Then they're separate from reality, aren't they? If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. That's the thing. The reason that all of her bullshit slop is so over-explaining and word salady is because she has to even try to justify her bullshit. Meanwhile, the rest of us are just like, nope, it's effed because we're right. She continues on, here's what actually happens. You're still paying bills, managing kids' schedules, dealing with work stress, and now you're juggling the emotional and logistical complexity of a double life. The affair doesn't eliminate your responsibilities. It adds layers to them. Again, she's just deliberately choosing to misinterpret what this commenter was saying because that's easier to argue with than what he's actually saying. No one was saying that affairs eliminate responsibilities. Except for you, when you admitted to the fact that the more time you're spending outside of the home and with your affair partner puts undue stress and labor on the betrayed spouse. Something you don't like to actually address in any of your content. Okay? No one's saying it alleviates you of your responsibilities. We're saying that it's easier to think that your affair is something special without the extra added layer of responsibilities that you are currently hiding from while you're living a double life. Does that help clear things up, ma'am? I doubt it will. I doubt it will. Again, we cannot save these hoes. But we can learn from them and we can roast the shit out of them. I love Everahead says straw man go brr. That's so funny. We'll just skip ahead here. The fantasy that affairs happen in a consequence-free zone is part of what makes them so appealing and so devastating. Who is like going into an affair thinking nothing bad will happen? That's why you hide them. That's why you're currently trying to sue someone because you think that they may have exposed information about your community. Because you're all hiding things. Because you're all doing things that you know you're not supposed to be doing. Okay, no one's under that false illusion, not even the dumbass cheaters. Gus, so good to see you. Thank you for the 5, says, Taylor has a song about getting cheated on and one about a guy trying to cheat with her. I don't think she'd like Chelsea using her music. Right, certainly. At first I was like, what Taylor are you talking about? I'm like, oh yeah, right. That Taylor. You're not getting a perfect space to operate. You're getting a perfect storm of competing priorities, divided attention, and emotional overload. Again, she's warping this fair criticism of someone trying to point out to cheaters, hey, you might be living in a state of delusion and grandeur where you are projecting fantasies onto a person to live in escapism from places that you are feeling unfulfilled in your real life, and you need to acknowledge that so that you can end your affair, because affairs are bad and there is no way that an affair is actually positively serving you in your life. You know what I mean? That's what all of us are trying to say and agree on, and instead she's choosing to like move the goalposts and somehow turn that criticism into, you think it's easy to cheat? You really think it's easy for me to live this double life? It is so hard on me because not only do I have to like live with one guy, but I also have to hide from him, and that is so hard. You have no sympathy for me. What a ridiculous, bratty, entitled attitude to think that you deserve any sympathy. Actually, like, I've been really thinking about this, and Chelsea should be thanking me. Here's the thing, not only have I given her so much free advertisement, like so much free press and publicity, but also I am building her clientele for her, because if it weren't for me actively shaming them, she would have no business. No one would be paying her to validate them and give them pats on the back. If, like, this is why I honestly don't believe that Chelsea's mission is genuine, because if it was genuine, it would be a self-destructing business. Think about it. If Chelsea's entire business is you can come to me and receive coaching for your affair and during your affair in a world where no one accepts it, and her content is all preaching like you guys are all wrong for not accepting it, okay, let's pretend that tomorrow everyone wakes up and decides to just have sympathy for cheaters. Her business would explode. It would implode. It would cease to exist. There would be no reason for it because there would be enough support in the real world, correct? So then what? Then what do you do with your life after that? What then is your purpose? If you could no longer be an affair coach and an affair content creator who uses other people's trauma to rage bait reactions for money, who uses other people's worst possible moments of their lives to try and funnel money out of them, who tries to literally sue betrayed spouses that your platform put at risk and at emotional vulnerabilities. Your platform did that. Sue them to try to get money out of them. What would you do if you couldn't do that? What would your purpose in life be if you could not milk affair drama like a weird little affair Rumpelstiltskin desperately trying to turn everything you can into affair milk? What? You can't go back to working for Meta, I fear. I do not think they would be interested in hiring you anymore. Okay, that was publicly accessible on her LinkedIn. Okay. I'm not doxing, all right? But what then? You know? She goes on, we'll finish this. This is why so many people in affairs feel overwhelmed, not liberated. Aw, that's such a shame that all of their problems weren't solved by banging someone else. We should feel bad for them because they were expecting boning someone else outside of their marital vows while knowing full well they would be crashing out if their spouse did the same thing or didn't solve all their problems. Oh no, the poor babies. You're trying to be fully present in multiple relationships while your actual life keeps demanding attention. Oh my gosh, it's gotta be so hard for side pieces, you know, like you're just trying to like get knocked up by another man so that you can force your husband to support that child, committing paternity fraud and leading him to believe that he's really the father. But all these annoying kids and my obligations to this home that I swore before Christ and every family member and friend that I invited I would do are just getting in the way. Why won't anyone feel bad for me? How does she not know that that's what she sounds like? How does she genuinely like think that she's a hero in any timeline? Real talk, if you're looking for an escape from life's pressures, an affair isn't going to provide that. It's going to amplify them. Thank God we can finally agree on something. Sometimes the most radical thing you can do is stop running from your real life and start redesigning it instead. She's definitely trying to beat the allegations these days. I can tell so much of her content is like, no, I'm not trying to justify affairs. I'm not helping people have affairs. I'm not telling people how to have affairs. That's not what I'm doing. No. She's like trying to beat the allegations with her new content and yet like just constantly accidentally telling on themselves. Wait, Swodro, stop. You're already mind effing me enough in this live stream. Are you telling me right now that you have family members who pay for Chelsea's services? I will wait for your answer. And to the other question from Potato Slice, did I meet Chloe and Emily? Yes, I did. I'll post some more selfies into the YouTube community publicly for you guys. I was just actually like going through them in my memories, and I was like, my girls. Yeah, we're definitely doing another live stream soon. Twodra says yes. Okay, please don't lie to me. Do you legit mean family members? Like plural? Like, is this now turning into... Please tell me that this is not about to go full MLM pyramid scheme, where it's about to be like all those fitness and nutritional ones of like, there's the head affair coaches, and then they recruit more affair coaches, and then if you recruit enough people into the affair community, then you can get promoted to Emerald affair coach. There is no way we enter this timeline, dude. Not the Ashley Madison affair coaching MLM boogaloo. 2 cousins of mine go to her. They're gonna end up in the documentary, bro. When this shit hits the fan and it goes to Netflix, your cousins are gonna be famous. Dude, they might be getting subpoenaed in a lawsuit pretty soon. Tell them to watch out. Dude, I've been trying to tell Twodros to abandon his family, and when I tell you that, you know it's serious. Because that's not your family. That's like the Frankenstein's, Dr. Frankenstein that created you, and now you're free to escape their evil clutches. Emerald Affair Coach is what I'm gonna call my new cover band. What do you need to cover for? Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, that's enough on cheating. Who wants to see a man get roasted again? Every day in this world, I see a man attempt to exist and just be a regular guy and then get called all of the worst possible names in the world over it. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna keep calling it out until people start to finally catch on a bit, okay? Here we go again. What's that Grand Theft Auto meme? Here we go again. Back at it. So we've got a photo set here. We've got a young gentleman, red beard. He's actually got what that one TikTok famous guy with like the white in his beard has a little bit. I've heard it's really common for redheads to like go white instantly before they go gray, so it's more obvious. Anyway, you know, fairly, attractive young man. And it says on the text overlay, "Oh, you're cute. You single?" Now I also got to point out, as a little bit of foreshadowing, we do already have a ratio here, so we already know something is going to go wrong. Then it's a picture of him and a young girl. And he says, "Yes, but are you going to play dress up and show her how to be a lady? And love her like your own and show her how to treat her future husband? What about play dinosaurs and monster trucks and Roblox and how them..." I'm assuming that's supposed to say, teach them how they should be treated by their future wives. And then it shows 3 sons. Then all of them together and just says, "Didn't think so. Please just leave us alone. We don't want to get our hearts broken again." I look at this and I see so many of you guys. You know what I mean? Just single dads who are just like, man, I do not know if it's worth it. It's definitely not worth exposing my kids to anyone who's not going to be 100% right for them. Like, I need someone who's all in or nothing at this point. Like, there is nothing to truly raise your standards in dating quite like becoming a single parent, you know? And I'm sure a lot of you guys are laughing right now because you're like, oh, trust me, we've noticed the single parents on the dating apps have very high standards, you know? And it can be kind of funny from one end, but I also can't blame them. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely felt that I was truly vetted by my husband before he truly felt comfortable introducing me to his world, you know? And, you know, you could look at this and be like, oh, you know, he's been being a bit pessimistic though, right? Yeah, maybe being a little bit of a negative Nancy, sure, but he just reads as tired to me. You know, a guy who like would love to end up in a long-lasting relationship where he can trust his kids with this woman, a man who has standards when it comes to like, I want my kids to actually see me being treated well. Something that we see from single moms all the time. This absolutely would pass the gender swap test. If a woman posted, you know, like, men, please leave me alone if you're not willing to teach my boys how to be a man, teach my daughter how a woman should be treated, I'm not interested. Everyone would be like, absolutely, and your kids deserve no less. Thank God that you're protecting your children by having these high standards. You know, I feel like that's what most people would say when reacting to this. Absolutely, you know, like, that's your world right there. You've got to protect them. You can't just be introducing any old, you know, evil stepmom into the picture. But again, we have to address the where things go wrong part, because whenever you see a ratio where the comments numbers outweigh the likes on the subject matter, that's typically a sign that you've effed up. So this is where I'm kind of like, what did he do wrong? I mean, let's go to the comments section to see if we can find out. This person says, sorry, I'm a high value woman. Essentially what she's trying to do, and what is supported by over 1,000 other people, is she's basically returning fire on him for a common criticism made by some men, even though we have no evidence to suggest that this father is the same type of man who would say something like, I don't date single moms because I'm a high value man. Is it a little bit gross and cringeworthy when men do say things like this, referring to themselves as an alpha or a giga chat or whatever while putting down single parents? Like, no, that's not an attractive behavior. But why are you holding him to the standard of that argument if he never made it? Next. 359k miles, rusted, and no trade-in value. I'll pass. Again, because some men that exist are misogynistic and make inflammatory, rude comments toward single moms, they are hitting him with it for some reason unexplained to me. I love that finally there's a woman here making sense. The projection is wild. All you care about is your sons learning about how a woman should treat them and how your daughter should service men. Do you not understand this is you projecting your insecurities and your relationship problems onto your offspring? Oh, never mind. I thought she was commenting that this is projection. No, I was very optimistic going into that, but no. She is suggesting that by him being concerned that his sons grow up learning how to be treated, that he's projecting his own insecurities onto his sons. Yeah, you know what? From now on, I'm going to tell my daughter she doesn't deserve to be treated with kindness or respect or anything like that. That's just me being insecure when I try to raise my kids in environments where they know so strongly what being respected looks like that they do not tolerate disrespect, that's just me being an insecure little bitch baby, as it turns out. And how dare I? My kids should just be treated any which way and watch me get treated any which way, because it's not going to affect them at all. Failure of an argument. Nah, the misogyny would need to be addressed. Yeah, yes, okay. Men having standards for themselves and wanting to raise their children around a woman with class and appreciation for everyone within the home is misogyny. Right. I'll never raise a girl to be a wife to an emotionally immature man. Hard pass. That poor girl. Ah, yes. Expecting and wanting mutual respect in your relationships is emotionally immature. I don't think they realize how much of an L they're handing women, because if you stay intellectually consistent on this path, then every single mom out there posting that she will only date a man who she trusts to raise her sons to see how to treat a woman, she's just emotionally immature. And is that really the playing field we would like to arrive at? Really? Teach her how to treat her husband, teach them how they should be treated by their future wives. Sir, be so freaking real. That poor girl, oh my god. Guys, is it misogynistic of me for me to be raising my daughter that she should love and respect the men in her life? Am I just a pick-me? Is that what that is? Oh my Lanta, dude. That's so wild that we just get like a regular dude with very healthy standards. Now, I will say this, I don't necessarily think it's a great idea to be posting your kids' faces for content. I generally disagree, don't encourage that kind of thing. But like, the leaps and bounds that we jumped to, you know? To just like label this man a toxic misogynist because he wants to date a woman who respects him. I just see a traumatized man, quite honestly. Like, I can tell this is a man who has been hurt, who has been disrespected and mistreated in front of his kids, and is never gonna let that happen again. God forbid. How dare he? There was just so much victim blaming in that comment section, dude. Anyway, I do have to agree with Phil. You do need to like the live. I didn't threaten you guys enough, but maybe I should try a different approach. Maybe I should just bribe. All right, we have 215 viewers on YouTube right now. What are our likes at? Okay. And what can I bribe you with? Maybe like an extra live next week if we get to X amount of likes on the stream. Someone tell me what our likes are at. I can't see it from OBS right now, and I don't feel like opening it. I guess I could while I'm waiting. What are our likes at on this? Shadow God, thank you for the 5. Says, I think the dad teaches the boys how to treat women and his daughter how she should be treated. He just wants a woman that will show what he asked for. Yeah, exactly. I think it's really important for young men to grow up watching both people in their homes be respected, because I think a lot of men unfortunately grow up in homes where they never see their fathers actually respected or cared for, and therefore they grow up like having really low self-esteem and just feeling like, why bother, who cares what even happens to me, because I could slave away my whole life like my dad and like still be unloved. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, like, you know, if you're a young man, you're growing up in an environment where like you see your mother and father like truly love each other, like odds of you really loving on your wife a lot higher, odds of you not settling for someone who won't respect and love you a lot lower. Because I could slave away. Okay, there's me. What are our likes at and how do I view them? 124. Okay, we got to get it up to 175 likes before the live ends, and I will give you guys an extra live next week. Okay, we usually do like 2 or 3, but I will throw in a bonus live somehow to what I've already done. Okay, anyway, we've still got some time to peruse some things. Let's see. There's some other stuff. Oh my god, this one. This one's educational. Educational partner shaming. Okay? Dadvocate looking at her own stream in real time reminds me of Spaceballs. It reminds me of the Aziz Ansari bit where he walks in on Kanye listening to Kanye. Not that I want to compare myself to Kanye right now. At all. Okay. Next up, this woman posts this video, goes super viral. I mean, look at this, 2.7 million likes, dude. Super viral video. This woman shows a video of her husband giving the baby a bath. Text overlay reads, when he thought he was getting rid of cradle cap, but actually accidentally scrubbed off our daughter's hair instead.
Babe, that's so bad.
I just thought that I was scrubbing her dead skin off.
Oh my god.
Every once in a while, in partner shaming history, we'll get someone who attempts to record and shame their partner for someone or for something, but they end up being wrong themselves. And this is one of those times. I can tell that a lot of people who have never been parents before were the ones adding fuel to this fire and boosting her up and being like, oh my god, I can't believe he did that to your poor precious baby. He scrubbed your baby's hair off. People were in there like concerned that it caused harm to the baby. Y'all, I don't know if you are familiar with cradle cap. Cradle cap is basically like, I mean, you have to imagine when your baby is born, it comes out with all kinds of like gross fluid and there's all kinds of changes and stuff happening. And the baby's scalp gets like this really dry, like skin on top. And of course, you want to get rid of the cradle cap. They make products specifically for getting rid of the cradle cap. But as you can see, there's no redness or irritation. And the reason is because the baby is meant to lose some hair with the cradle cap. The hair was gonna fall out anyway. When you have a baby, like the baby is born with hair, then that hair falls out and more hair grows back. And sometimes that happens multiple times. I can't fully explain to you why, but I will tell you that it's very normal. The father was putting in the accurate care to remove the cradle cap as he was supposed to. Like, it's not a fashion show raising a baby. If it was, you know, they wouldn't have that ugly ass umbilical stump that takes forever to fall off that my cats ended up eating. Okay? It's like, you gotta clear off the yucky stuff. You know, I'm sorry that your kid is not going to be like winning any awards for most hair at 1 month old. But literally, this is just so funny because she's not even in the right on this. The dad truly did nothing wrong. And for anybody watching, like, don't worry about it. Like, if you're scrubbing cradle cap off and it's like taking the hair out, you're good. It's better that you clean your baby than that your wife gets like the dream magical length Barbie doll hair for her toy that she wants to show off to the world. Okay, an informative partner shaming vid here. So if the virality of that video has done anything, I hope it educates people on like the actual truth about cradle cap. But I'm sure this will not be the last time this man is shamed for basic fatherhood duties. And what's upsetting is, like, if nobody tells this man that he's fine and that he was right, which I think a few people did in the comments, so hopefully he sees that, then, like, he may very well end up just, like, second-guessing himself and becoming more insecure in his fatherhood and then, like, doubting his own self-navigation, which no one really needs. We don't need to deal with that. Yeah, the baby's not crying. They're good. He did not burn the baby's scalp. He's fine. Anyway, as we approach the end of our stream, we're starting to get there. I'm going to give us maybe like 20 more minutes before calling it. For the last thing we're going to cover, this one goes out to Samantha in the chat, who I think earlier in the pre-show you were in the chat talking about some mother-in-law nightmare story. So this one is dedicated to you. What we see on screen is a bowl of some kind of like grimy, dark liquid on a counter, and the text overlay reads, "You thought your mother-in-law was bad? Mine threw all the save the dates I made for our wedding in a bucket of water. They all had stamps and return address labels already." So the dark liquid is all of the handwriting washed off. First of all, how dare you waste that much postage? The precious postage, the cost to design the save the dates, if you paid. TJ and I were artistic, we designed our own. The cost to print, that's going to be expensive no matter what. No one is getting out of printing save the dates at no cost. But the time labor, oh my god, I know some people end up just like plugging in the names and addresses to companies and like they're able to address everything, but for most of us, yeah, we're manually writing the names and addresses of everybody that we are mailing these save the dates to. Okay? It takes a lot of time to prepare save the dates. No matter how big or small the wedding is, that it's labor. It's time intensive. Okay? And it would be one thing if the mom was like, okay, I'm gonna take the save the dates out and I'm gonna mail them out for you tomorrow morning. But she like put them in a box, but then accidentally left them out next to her car overnight during a rainstorm. And this happened and she was like, I'm so sorry. Like, it would still be annoying, but at least it would have been an accident. You're telling me she did this on purpose? She hates you. Oh, she hates you. Your mother-in-law truly said, "F you," over my dead body, dude. Chaos Shadow says, one of the rare cases where it's me or her is okay. Yeah, and the comments seem to agree with you, okay? Let's jump into them. They are immediately blaming the husband for this, which, let me know in the chat if you think that that's justified. Because I will say, I have to actually agree. Spouse's reaction at this point is going to make or break whether or not the wedding fully happens. Okay, because at this point, if I'm in this position, mother-in-law is not invited anymore. To say the least. To say the least on boundaries that shall be going forward, if not complete no contact. Yeah, absolutely okay. Shadow God says, if we get 200 likes, I might do another 10 members. Oh, snap. Okay, everybody, we got better get them likes up. I know the people. Listen, if you're on Facebook or Twitch, come on over to YouTube for a second just to like the stream, and then you can leave and go back. Okay. Continues on to say, post the vid on Facebook and tag her. Let all her friends see what she did. I agree with this, okay? I'm anti-partner and shaming, but I might be pro no contact ex future mother-in-law shaming when it's this bad, dude. Yeah, if he's not furious, cancel the wedding. Please pay attention to your husband's response to his mom's behavior and make sure he's not enabling it. They stopped talking to me and I have no idea why. I was a great mother. I would legit end my relationship if my fiance put up with this. Hope things turn around for you. And she is liking a lot of those comments. So if you're like me, you're like, please tell me there's some kind of follow-up here. And there is. I got you. This is OP reacting to a comment that says, girl, you better not let them gaslight you. If he doesn't make her pay, redo it and send him off. Cancel the wedding. Small glimpse of what you will endure for the... And then it cuts off, but I'm assuming it says, for the rest of your life. Oops, sorry, I forgot to turn sound back on. Let's try that again. Fed Up Canadian, thank you for the 5. Says, hello, Dadvocate. Is it okay to use your name in my RPG video game? You'll be an NPC talking about men's rights. Also love your video. Absolutely. Of course you may. It's absolutely fair use to ever like create characters based off of other people. There's like fair use parody and stuff like that. So of course.
It seems that the people want to know my fiance's reaction to this whole ordeal. I'm wearing my engagement ring, so he reacted the way any individual should have. He chose my side. I can't fathom not choosing my side because her not liking me is one thing, but the approach that was taken here, that's a different story.
Yeah.
She could have just thrown them away or told me not to send them, but no, she filled up a bucket of water and placed them in there. I mean, there's really a lot to unpack here.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just going to leave everyone at that for now.
So I'm going to address Aragar's comment, which is, choosing her side is vague. And it's funny you say that, because when I first saw this reaction, I was like, okay, you know, I didn't like read too deep into it for once. But I just saw it as like, I liked the way that she approached it, which was, you know, I'm still wearing my ring. So he reacted reasonably, accordingly. I didn't call it off. If he didn't act reasonably, I would have called it off. Seemed to be the response. But a lot of people in the comments were disappointed by this. People are saying, so basically he did nothing, got it, good luck with that whole ordeal. We want to know his action, not his reaction. Being on your side in private means nothing. He's got to confront her, correct her. So this is like where the internet just like takes off. This is where it becomes like very similar to partner shaming, which is, this is a phenomenon of partner shaming that everyone ends up calling out. You know, even people who are against pro-male content noticed the same phenomenon and also hate it, which is people will post partner shaming content, but then when everyone in the audience is like made to hate their partner and they're like, break up with him, dump him, this is like ridiculous, like you shouldn't deal with this. Then when the inevitable just kidding, we're fine video comes out, everyone's pissed because you did not obey the popular demand. You did not listen to the people of TikTok who now control your relationship, and how dare you? You know what I mean? So at this point, you know, this has popped off and gone viral and everybody hates this mother-in-law, and now everybody's like, if you do not dump your husband, if he does not have the most extra and dramatic, insane reaction to this, then we are going to cancel you next. Like, they are not happy about this response. And do you think that's justifiable? Like, do you think that people have a right to be annoyed if she does just end up tolerating this and welcoming the mother-in-law back, or even like staying with the husband if he doesn't do anything crazy? Do you think he has to do something crazy, or do you think just him being on her side and agreeing like that was not okay of her, whatever boundaries that means, is all we as an audience deserve? Or do you think, you know, this is our business now, we deserve more information? What do you guys think? Either way, there's one final follow. After all that, she posts, when you finally gave in to the idea of marriage and got engaged, only for your mother-in-law to immediately change your mind. And audio only crew, I know you're not gonna pick up on this one because you're not looking, but there is something clearly missing from this picture. Anyone in the chat pick up on one of these things is different than the last video? Do you see what it is? There's no engagement ring, folks. There is no longer an engagement ring. The mother-in-law wins. Another dub for the MIL Olympics. She said, I do not want this wedding to occur. If I put all of these in a bowl, it will not occur. And like magic, like clockwork, she got her wish. She got her demand. Wow. I will say, I will warn, it is true, a hyper intrusive, offensive, like almost incestuous mother-in-law can and will ruin a relationship, dude. Like, badly. Badly. And I will say, I can empathize that I can only imagine how difficult it might be to have to choose between your spouse and a parent. I'm very blessed to have never been put in such a situation, but if it comes down to it, if even one of you is making you choose, like one of them is making you choose, you better be really happy with your choice. You better be ready to make it, because I don't know much about this lady, you know, the one posting all these, our newly single and on the market lady. Maybe she's actually a horrible person and the mom is right to sabotage their relationship, and maybe she actually is like the absolute worst and a bane on her son's existence. Maybe. I doubt it though, because I still think that any parent who interferes that much in their adult child's relationship is probably the red flag. But I'm assuming mom is going to go on and continue ruining every relationship he has. So I don't know how many failed engagements it's going to take for him to learn that lesson. But this is definitely not going to be her first rodeo, y'all. She's only just getting started, dude. She's like, this is going to be my baby boy and my baby boy only. Okay? Ryan, thank you for the super chat. It says, more data is normally good, but so is privacy. I'm wondering if that was in reaction to a previous story and you're still catching up. Twojer says mom was right on this one. Oh, do you think that she's a red flag? Why? Just because she doesn't believe in marriage anyway? Yeah, caption reads, marriage is a scam and I'd rather keep my last name anyway. Let's see. And then we've got some conspiracies in the chat. Defogan says, you know, we actually don't know that mother-in-law did it, or if the husband did it after getting some alarming news. I mean, I guess that could come out. I guess I'm just taking her word for it. That would be crazy if the husband did it and blamed his mother just to, like, help get out of the marriage. The mom comes off as less of an asshole than the fiance. I completely disagree with you, dude. If you take my long, like, labor that I have put so much heart and soul into and you destroy it, yeah, I'm probably not going to have a really great response. Wait, Troger says, I went to her page, my mom follows her, and says the same thing. Red flag. Like, says that marriage isn't worth it, or... I don't know, look, listen, if the wife-to-be, if the bride-to-be is an asshole, then there are two assholes, not just one asshole. The mom is still an asshole. You know what I mean? There are other ways to tell your son, please don't marry this woman, that don't involve, like, destroying her shit. You know? Anyway, I think this is probably a good place to wrap it up for today anyway. I'll probably be able to flesh out next week's live schedule a little bit more on Sunday, I think. Of course, weekends are usually dedicated to the family. I don't tend to go live on weekends. Sorry, everybody. But I'll be able to let you guys know when I will be going live next week. I gotta double check. I don't think we met our live goal for bonus live time. I do not think we did. I'm gonna go watch my own lives. They're usually dedicated on my own stream. Where are we at? 153 likes. Ooh, them's a rookie numbers, y'all. Them are rookie numbers. Oh man, watch me hiccup and burp at the same time. Amazing. With tricks like these, how could you not like the live stream? No, that's okay. We didn't quite make it this time, guys. I'll set a like goal earlier on, so that way the people who come in late and are catching up will know about it sooner. And then we'll have more time and we'll have more incentive. You know what I mean? But did anybody have any final questions, concerns, shout outs before I go play Dark Brotherhood and arena quests in the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered? When's the next members Patreon only stream? I'm gonna try and plan one for this upcoming week, I think. I really like the members onlys. I'm trying to find out the best formula to do it while sharing YouTube and Patreon. The best way seems to be posting them as unlisted links. But please tell me, is that working out for YouTube members? Like, is it pretty easy to find them from the community tabs? Are you getting notified for them in time? Like, I feel bad that it's not, like, advertised as there being more members only stuff because it's all posted as unlisted so that you can both get them. And I just do not have the time to do Patreon only and YouTube only. But I like the different benefits of both platforms. So it's going to be always posted as unlisted for now. So if you've ever considered becoming a member, but you're like, I want to join, but it doesn't look like there's that many members only content videos, it's because they're posted as unlisted to the community tab. So there's no like public number of how many there are, but trust and believe they are there. Okay. Someone tell Taylor Swift about cheating Chelsea using her music. Yeah, one of you guys who totally has access to Taylor Swift, can you please tell her? Oh, now I'm starting to get hungry. It was leg day, so my metabolism is feeling it, y'all. I've been locking in, dude. If you guys haven't been paying attention to my stories, I signed up for a half marathon at the beginning of the year. I've never run a half marathon. I've barely ever run like over 6 miles straight before, but I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna train for a half marathon. And like, at first I was like, that was very ambitious. I'm probably just gonna end up walking most of it. But now that I'm like getting closer to the date and I've actually been on a really consistent training plan, so like every Tuesday I run a 5K. Every Thursday I run 4 miles. Every weekend I do a long run, which started as 10Ks, which is 6 miles, but now I've been gradually building on that. So last week I ran 9 miles. This weekend I am planning on running 10 miles straight to help prepare. I'm also doing strength training on my core, legs, and some upper body throughout the week as well. Like, I've been really focused. I've been locked in on my nutrition. I'm ensuring that I try to meet my macro goals, get my protein. I'm trying to cut sugar, alcohol, things that do not serve me out of my life. And a lot of this is like just basic dumb jock mentality that I've always had. And then part of it is, if you've been following my medical journey, you may know a little bit that I, have come to learn some new things about my body that require me, taking some things a little bit more seriously in terms of a rare diagnosis, which I'm not going to speak too much on. There's still some more tests to be had, some overnight EEG action that needs to be done, and more of a game plan as far as, permanent medication for the rest of my life. Once I fully learn a lot more about my condition, I'll be more ready to talk about it a little bit. But yeah, definitely sometimes, you just find out there's some crazy shit going on with your body and you gotta take your health a little bit more seriously. You know what I mean? So guys should be taking care of yourselves. And also, one thing that I cannot stress enough is definitely advocate for yourself when it comes to medical stuff. If you think that something is off, even if it doesn't seem that serious, like I will tell you guys, I almost canceled my MRI the day of it because I was like, they're not going to find anything. This is probably going to be a waste of money. And like, I'm probably just stressing myself out. And I was gaslighting myself, and thank God I went. You know what I mean? So thank God I figured that one out, because the condition that I've been diagnosed with is typically only found in autopsies. So now there's a lot we can prevent. So yay! Chaos Shadow, thank you for the super chat, says, I'm starting to try getting better eating habits. Had my last pizza for a little. Gonna start some after work gym time starting tomorrow. There's ways you can have healthy pizza. I've been following some pizza, or I've been following some people on Instagram. There's this one chick who makes a pizza that looks exactly like a regular pizza, but she does all this crazy stuff, like makes the crust out of like cauliflower and like all this other like more organic stuff. And it's actually like crazy high in protein, crazy low in calories, like actually super healthy. And I've been meaning to make that pizza for a really long time. It's like saved in my favorites. And every time I look at these girls like stories and posts, I'm always like, I gotta make her pizza. Yeah, you gotta do constant research to figure out how to be healthy. It took me forever how to even understand macros. I'm like, what even is this? What even is a macro? I do follow pizza on Instagram. Absolutely. My wifey loves cauliflower pizza. I hated cauliflower for the longest time, but you know what changed my mind on cauliflower was, first of all, pickled cauliflower. So good, dude. So good. Okay. But I gotta figure that out. My healthy habits do include air fryer cooking and literally simple foods like just chicken quarters and veggies with simple spices. I know, I put so much thought into like, how am I gonna eat healthy? Like all the people on Instagram who make all these fancy meals, and it's like, dude, just chicken and broccoli, y'all. Chicken and broccoli. It's pretty easy. It gets easier the more like I started making a new breakfast for myself, which is just Greek yogurt. And before you could not convince me to eat plain non-fat Greek yogurt. I remember one time I was dating someone that was like, no, you'll like it. You'll like the non-fat plain Greek yogurt. And I took a bite and I was actually mad at him. Like, I had to talk myself down and be like, this is not a reasonable fight to have with your boyfriend. But I was like actually pissed that he told me I would like it, and then I trusted him and he betrayed me, because that shit is so gross on its own, but you're supposed to eat it. It's supposed to be good brain food. So what I started doing to like kind of trick myself into eating healthy is I take the Greek yogurt and then I do half of a banana, a handful of blueberries, a tablespoon of chia seeds. Chia seeds are such a life hack. If you want just like easy protein in your water, just put it in the water. You have to wait like 10-15 minutes for the seeds to like actually get fluffy, and so you don't like actually notice them. But then once you do, like, you don't even notice them in your water, and it's just like bam, instant protein in all your shit. Then cinnamon, then honey. And it's like boom, antioxidants, brain food, protein, like so good for you. So simple. I've been doing that for breakfast almost like every single day of my life. There's more yogurt than Greek yogurt. I know, but Greek yogurt's so good for you, especially if you get like the probiotic ones. Sorry, this went on such a, like, I told you guys I'm a dumb jock, and I will get on dumb jock tangents every single time you let me. But seriously, like, you guys don't even have to like do anything crazy to be healthy. Like, one thing I would recommend is like, there are days I don't lift, there are days I don't run, but I at least walk. Every day I walk. And that 10,000 steps a day thing, don't sleep on that. That is so real. Like, you might not like shed a bajillion pounds every week or like notice a crazy difference month to month or anything, but I promise you, if you start walking regularly, you will notice an increase in like you will be so much happier. You will benefit from it. So far I've had nobody come back to me and be like, I started doing daily walks like you recommended and it's a complete waste of time and I hate it and I actually feel worse about myself. It has yet to happen. The Dadvocate rises. Health stream when? Yeah, I was thinking about just doing like a regular members and Patreon Q&A so we can really get into health routines there. I've also been debating if I want to like include patrons and members more in my like health journey. I was like would people be interested if I did like a workout stream, or is that too like e-girl? Like, is that too like like, you know how like a lot of the streamers on Twitch got into like hot tub streams or like fitness streams, but like the workouts they were doing were like mostly just to show off their ass, and that's not really the reason people were watching. That's like the main reason I've avoided doing it. But like, I've thought about it, like it might be fun if we all like worked out together. You know, it might get some of you guys motivated if I'm like, yeah, we're doing like a workout stream and like, you know, maybe we'll joke and yap and laugh about some other stuff along the way, you know? I actually, fun fact, I used to host these live events, and we even were going to try to like market it as an actual show. We got like a studio and everything, like a local network was down, but me and a couple buddies, we were going to host this show. We did quite a few of them, like live filmed, called Drunk Yoga. And the whole concept was like, it was a yoga class, but like, it was just a chaotic one where like the joke was that like I have my, like a paper bag bottle in front of me while doing yoga instead of like a water bottle. And all throughout all of the asanas, it would be stuff like, you know, like downward dog, make sure you don't queef, like just like goofy one-liners, like make sure you're, you know, getting nice and loose, like for that guy who smelled like Pall Malls and wouldn't text you back but you still kept calling him. Like, I remember there would be sometimes, like there was a couple episodes where a dude with a guitar would just like show up and start walking through and then leave. It's just like unhinged and chaotic. And like we might have to bring it back, quite frankly. Divergent says release the stand-up files, Lauren. Dude, I would if I could still frickin' find them. Like, I feel like none of my stand-up days are, like, properly recorded. Look, I never quite made it to getting a Netflix special, okay? My stand-up was not credible. I maybe got to open for a couple of, like, more well-known Midwest comedians, but, like, I was not closing out shows myself, okay? No one in chat is going to ask what queefing is. We all know. Okay. Anyway, at this time, I best be off. I am hungry. Thank you guys again for everybody who did like the stream. Sour grapes to those who did not. But no, we had fun. We always do. New schedule stream for streaming should be out on Sunday. To those of you who became members, like I said, enjoy watching your early access video. Know that there are a bunch of early access videos about to come out. A lot of them are edited down versions of previous lives, but there actually is one that is going to be released as soon as my editor is done with it, which is a scripted video that I have spent a really long time writing. It was not done before live, so this will be the first time seeing it, is in the early release. A video on my own personal experience with overcoming the dead bedroom. So the dead bedroom is a topic that you guys have been asking about for a really long time. I am finally fully addressing so many aspects of it in a way that I think will be beneficial and entertaining, as I always try to be on this channel. And also, as Dylan says, you can also support me by following my husband, whose channel is at OTL Rook. Rook is in the chess piece, and that's on everything: YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, OTL Rook everywhere. And while I do not stream on weekends, typically, he streams every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to catch him, he streams live Dungeons and Dragons games. And I know to some of you that might be like, I don't know if that's up my alley. I will tell you right now, he is the most animated dungeon master that you could possibly ask for, next to like Matt Mercer or Brendan Shanahan. Is that the guy's name? No, Brennan Lee Mulligan. That's the one. I was like, who am I thinking of? Some other Irish guy. Brennan Lee Mulligan, up there with them, quite frankly. The room that he films in is like a dedicated Dungeons and Dragons shrine. All of the players get super into it. Good chance of seeing one of the animals. It's a fun time. But with that,